All men are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. Martin Luther King Jr. They tell you that honesty is always the best policy. They tell you that being truthful no matter the cost is a virtue. They lie. They want you compliant, predictable, and easily controlled. They want you to believe that transparency is strength. It's not. Honesty, unfiltered and absolute, is a weakness, a vulnerability that the wolves will exploit without hesitation. We live in a world of calculated deception, where appearances are carefully crafted and truth is a commodity to be bought and sold. You think your neighbor, your boss, your politician is being straight with you. Wake up. The truth, the raw, unadulterated truth, is a dangerous weapon. It can shatter illusions, dismantle empires, and expose the rot that festers beneath the surface of polite society. But it's also a weapon that can be turned against you. Every detail you reveal about yourself, every honest opinion you express, is ammunition for your enemies. They will use it to manipulate you, to undermine your confidence, to control your actions. This isn't about morality, it's about survival. Consider the predator in the wild. Does the lion announce its intentions before it strikes? Does the snake reveal its venom before it bites? Of course not. They conceal their true nature, they use deception to gain an advantage, they lie in wait until the opportune moment. This isn't evil, it's instinct. And in the human jungle, the stakes are just as high. The world rewards those who can master the art of calculated ambiguity, those who can project an image of strength and competence, while carefully concealing their weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Think about it. The successful businessman doesn't reveal his doubts and anxieties. The skilled negotiator doesn't reveal his bottom line. The powerful leader doesn't reveal his fears. They understand that information is power, and that withholding information is a form of control. So what does this mean for you? It means that you need to be more discerning about what you reveal to the world. It means that you need to cultivate a degree of strategic opacity. It means that you need to understand that honesty, in its purest form, is a luxury you cannot afford. This doesn't mean embracing outright lying, but it does mean understanding the power of selective disclosure. It means understanding that sometimes, silence is the most powerful weapon of all. Learn to observe, to analyze, to understand the motivations of those around you. Learn to anticipate their moves, to identify their weaknesses, to exploit their vulnerabilities. And above all, learn to control the flow of information about yourself. Your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions, these are your most valuable assets. Guard them jealously. Don't give them away freely. The world is full of predators looking for an easy meal. Don't be their next victim. This is about taking control, about understanding the game, and about playing to win. The truth has its place, but it's not always on display. Sometimes, the greatest strength lies in what you choose to conceal. The human mind craves certainty, a stable narrative that makes sense of the chaos around us. This inherent desire for order is often exploited. Society conditions us to believe in simple narratives, comforting lies that obscure the complex, often brutal reality of human interaction. We are taught to value honesty and transparency above all else, but this naive belief system leaves us vulnerable to manipulation. The truth, in its rawest form, is often too uncomfortable to bear. It exposes our flaws, our insecurities, and the inherent unfairness of the world. To cope with this discomfort, we construct elaborate defense mechanisms, filtering and distorting reality to fit our preconceived notions. This is why so many people cling to comforting illusions, even when faced with overwhelming evidence to the contrary. They would rather live in a comfortable lie than confront the harsh truth. This is a fundamental weakness that can be exploited by those who understand the power of deception. Consider the psychology of influence. The most effective manipulators are not necessarily the most charismatic or intelligent. They are the ones who understand human nature, who can identify and exploit our deepest desires and fears. They understand that people are driven by emotion, not logic, and that they are easily swayed by appeals to their vanity, their greed, or their sense of belonging. They use flattery, guilt-tripping, and social pressure to manipulate our behavior, often without us even realizing it. The key is to create a situation where the desired outcome aligns with the target's self-interest, even if it's based on a false premise. This requires a deep understanding of human psychology, the ability to read people's emotions, and the willingness to exploit their weaknesses. It's a dark art, but it's a necessary skill for anyone who wants to navigate the complexities of the modern world. The concept of cognitive dissonance plays a crucial role in understanding how people reconcile conflicting beliefs and behaviors. When we act in a way that contradicts our deeply held values, we experience a state of psychological discomfort. To resolve this dissonance, we often rationalize our actions, changing our beliefs to align with our behavior. This is why people can justify all sorts of immoral or unethical actions, from cheating on their taxes to betraying their friends. They convince themselves that their actions were necessary, justifiable, or even morally right, even when they know deep down that they were wrong. This process of rationalization is a powerful defense mechanism that allows us to maintain a positive self-image, even when we're acting in ways that contradict our values. Understanding this process is essential for recognizing and resisting manipulation. If you can identify the underlying cognitive dissonance that is driving someone's behavior, you can often predict their actions and influence their decisions. Furthermore, the power of suggestion is often underestimated. The human mind is highly susceptible to suggestion, especially when it comes from a trusted authority figure or a perceived expert. This is why advertising is so effective. By repeatedly exposing us to certain images and messages, advertisers can subtly influence our desires and behaviors, often without us even realizing it. They create associations between their products and positive emotions, making us more likely to purchase them. The same principle applies to political propaganda. By constantly repeating certain slogans and narratives, politicians can shape public opinion and manipulate the masses. The key is to control the flow of information, to create a narrative that reinforces the desired message, and to suppress any dissenting voices. This is why censorship and propaganda are such powerful tools of control. By controlling what people see and hear, you can control what they think and believe. Self-deception is perhaps the most insidious form of deception. We often lie to ourselves to protect our egos, to avoid facing unpleasant truths, or to justify our actions. We convince ourselves that we are smarter, more attractive, or more talented than we actually are. We rationalize our failures, blaming external factors instead of taking responsibility for our own mistakes. This self-deception can be incredibly damaging, as it prevents us from learning and growing. It blinds us to our weaknesses and makes us vulnerable to exploitation. The first step towards overcoming self-deception is to cultivate a sense of self-awareness, to honestly assess our strengths and weaknesses, and to be willing to confront our own flaws. This requires courage and humility, but it's essential for personal growth and success. Finally, consider the concept of social proof. People are social creatures, and we are heavily influenced by the behavior of those around us. We tend to conform to social norms, to follow the crowd, and to do what we think others expect of us. This is why testimonials and endorsements are so effective. If we see that other people are using a product or supporting a cause, we are more likely to do so ourselves. The same principle applies to social movements and political revolutions. When people see that others are willing to take a risk, they are more likely to join them. This is why it's so important to build a strong social network, to surround yourself with people who support your goals and share your values. Conversely, it's important to be aware of the dangers of groupthink, to avoid blindly following the crowd, and to be willing to challenge the status quo. The truth is often unpopular, and it takes courage to stand up for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular. Consider the cutthroat world of venture capital. Imagine a young entrepreneur, brimming with innovative ideas and a burning desire to disrupt an established industry. He pours his heart and soul into his startup, working tirelessly to build a product that he believes will revolutionize the market. He invests his own savings, maxes out his credit cards, and even borrows money from friends and family. He faces countless setbacks and challenges, but he perseveres, driven by his unwavering belief in his vision. Finally, he secures a meeting with a prominent venture capitalist, a seasoned investor with a reputation for identifying and backing the next big thing. The entrepreneur pitches his startup, passionately explaining his business model, his target market, and his growth strategy. He presents compelling data, showcases impressive prototypes, and articulates a clear vision for the future. The venture capitalist listens intently, asking probing questions and scrutinizing every detail. After several hours of intense discussion, the venture capitalist delivers his verdict. He's not interested. He cites various reasons for his decision, ranging from market saturation to competitive pressures to concerns about the entrepreneur's leadership skills. The entrepreneur is devastated. He feels like his dreams have been shattered, his hard work has been in vain, and his future is uncertain. He questions his abilities, his ideas, and his entire entrepreneurial journey. He starts to doubt himself, to lose confidence, and to consider giving up. This is the reality of the startup world, a brutal and unforgiving arena where only the strongest and most resilient survive. The venture capitalist, in his ruthless pursuit of profit, has crushed the entrepreneur's spirit, dashed his hopes, and potentially derailed his entire career. This is not an isolated incident. It's a common occurrence in the world of high finance, where billions of dollars are at stake, and only the most promising ventures receive funding. The venture capitalist's decision is driven by a cold, calculated assessment of risk and reward, devoid of empathy or compassion for the entrepreneur's personal struggles. He is not concerned with the entrepreneur's feelings or his aspirations. He is solely focused on maximizing his return on investment. This is the dark side of capitalism, where human emotions are secondary to financial gains. The entrepreneur, in his naivete, believed that his passion and dedication would be enough to win over the venture capitalist. He failed to recognize the ruthless nature of the game, the cutthroat competition, and the unwavering focus on profit. He underestimated the importance of connections, influence, and a proven track record. He was blinded by his own optimism and failed to see the potential pitfalls that lay ahead. The venture capitalist, on the other hand, is a master of the game. He understands the rules, he knows the players, and he is not afraid to make tough decisions. He has seen countless startups come and go, and he has learned to identify the winners from the losers. He is not swayed by emotion or sentimentality. He is driven by logic and reason. He is a predator, and the entrepreneur is his prey. This scenario illustrates the harsh reality that the world is not always fair, that hard work and dedication are not always enough, and that success often requires a degree of ruthlessness. The entrepreneur, in order to survive and thrive in this environment, must learn to adapt, to become more resilient, and to develop a thicker skin. He must learn to separate his emotions from his business decisions, to analyze his failures objectively, and to use them as learning opportunities. He must learn to network strategically, to build relationships with influential people, and to present himself as a confident and capable leader. He must also be prepared to face rejection, to overcome adversity, and to never give up on his dreams. The truth is that success in the business world often requires a certain level of ruthlessness, a willingness to make tough decisions, and a relentless pursuit of profit. Those who are unwilling to embrace this reality are likely to be left behind. The trap lies in believing the world rewards effort alone. It whispers that good intentions and tireless work ethic are enough to guarantee triumph. This comforting lie lulls you into a false sense of security, blinding you to the harsh realities of the game. You become convinced that your dedication will inevitably be recognized and rewarded, that your inherent goodness will shield you from the cutthroat nature of competition. You fail to recognize that the world is filled with individuals who are not bound by the same moral constraints, who are willing to exploit your naivety and manipulate your vulnerabilities for their own gain. They will smile to your face while simultaneously plotting your downfall, offering empty promises and veiled threats. You are a lamb amongst wolves, and your unwavering belief in the inherent goodness of humanity will be your undoing. Your hard work becomes fuel for their ambition, your dedication becomes a tool for their manipulation, and your naivety becomes their greatest weapon. They will use your optimism against you, preying on your desire to see the best in people. They will exploit your trust, betraying your confidence and leaving you disillusioned and defeated. You will pour your heart and soul into your work, only to find that your efforts have been hijacked, your ideas stolen, and your dreams shattered. The world does not reward effort, it rewards results. It doesn't care how hard you work or how noble your intentions are. It only cares about what you accomplish, the value you create, and the impact you make. Those who focus solely on effort, neglecting the strategic elements of the game, are destined to fail. They are caught in a perpetual cycle of hard work and disappointment, never understanding why their efforts are not yielding the desired results. They become bitter and resentful, blaming the world for their misfortunes, never realizing that they are the architects of their own downfall. The trap is believing that your intentions matter more than your actions, that your good heart will somehow compensate for your lack of strategic thinking. The trap ensnares those who prioritize being liked over being respected. It's the seductive illusion that popularity equates to power, that being agreeable is a path to success. This naive belief leads you to compromise your values, to dilute your principles in a desperate attempt to appease everyone. You become a chameleon, changing your colors to fit in, sacrificing your authenticity for the fleeting approval of others. You fear conflict, avoiding confrontation at all costs, even when it means sacrificing your own interests. You become a pushover, easily manipulated and exploited by those who sense your weakness. They will take advantage of your desire to be liked, using your need for validation to control your actions. You will find yourself constantly agreeing with others, even when you know they are wrong, simply to avoid causing friction. You will suppress your own opinions and ideas, fearing that they will be unpopular or controversial. You will become a people pleaser, constantly seeking the approval of others, neglecting your own needs and desires. This constant need for validation will leave you feeling empty and unfulfilled. You will realize that you have sacrificed your integrity for the sake of popularity, that you have become a hollow shell of your former self. You will have no real friends, only fair-weather acquaintances who are drawn to your willingness to agree with them. You will be surrounded by sycophants, who will flatter you and tell you what you want to hear, but who will abandon you the moment you face adversity. The trap is believing that being liked is more important than being respected. Respect is earned through strength, integrity, and conviction. It is earned by standing up for what you believe in, even when it is unpopular. It is earned by being honest and truthful, even when it is difficult. It is earned by being willing to challenge the status quo, to question authority, and to speak your mind. Those who prioritize being liked over being respected are destined to be used and abused. They will become puppets, controlled by the whims of others, never realizing their full potential. They will live a life of quiet desperation, always seeking the approval of others, never finding true happiness or fulfillment. The world rewards those who are willing to stand their ground, to fight for what they believe in, and to command respect. It does not reward those who are willing to compromise their values for the sake of popularity. The trap is the allure of comfort, the siren song of mediocrity. It whispers that safety and security are the ultimate goals, that risk-taking is foolish and unnecessary. This insidious lie lulls you into a state of complacency, stifling your ambition and preventing you from reaching your full potential. You become afraid to step outside your comfort zone, to challenge yourself, to pursue your dreams. You settle for a life of quiet desperation, accepting a mediocre existence as the best you can hope for. You tell yourself that you are happy, that you are content with your lot in life, but deep down you know that you are settling. You are living a life of unfulfilled potential, a life of missed opportunities, a life of regret. You become risk-averse, avoiding any situation that could potentially lead to failure. You cling to the familiar, the predictable, the safe. You surround yourself with like-minded individuals who reinforce your beliefs and validate your choices. You become resistant to change, clinging to the past, fearing the future. You lose your sense of adventure, your curiosity, your desire to explore the unknown. You become a shadow of your former self, a pale imitation of the person you could have been. The trap is believing that comfort is more important than growth. Growth requires discomfort. It requires stepping outside your comfort zone, challenging your beliefs, and embracing the unknown. It requires taking risks, making mistakes, and learning from your failures. Those who prioritize comfort over growth are destined to stagnate. They will never reach their full potential. They will never experience the thrill of accomplishment, and they will never live a truly fulfilling life. The world rewards those who are willing to take risks, to embrace challenges, and to push themselves beyond their limits. It does not reward those who are content to remain in their comfort zone. The comfort zone is a prison, and those who choose to remain within its walls are destined to live a life of quiet desperation. Escape the comfort zone, embrace the unknown, and unlock your true potential. The trap is the reliance on outdated strategies, clinging to methods that were once effective but have become obsolete. This stems from an inability to adapt, a stubborn refusal to acknowledge that the world is constantly changing. You become stuck in the past, relying on techniques that no longer produce the desired results. You fail to recognize that the rules of the game have changed, that new technologies have emerged, and that new competitors have entered the market. You continue to operate as if nothing has changed, stubbornly clinging to your old ways even as the world passes you by. You become irrelevant, out of touch, and ultimately obsolete. You are like a dinosaur, unable to adapt to a changing environment, destined for extinction. You resist innovation, clinging to the familiar, fearing the unknown. You dismiss new ideas, clinging to your old beliefs, convinced that you know best. You become arrogant, believing that your past success guarantees future success, failing to recognize that the past is no predictor of the future. The trap is believing that what worked yesterday will work today. The world is constantly evolving, and those who fail to adapt are destined to be left behind. You must be willing to learn new skills, to embrace new technologies, and to adapt to new market conditions. You must be a lifelong learner, constantly seeking new knowledge and new insights. You must be willing to experiment, to try new things, and to fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a stepping stone to success. Those who are afraid to fail are afraid to succeed. The world rewards those who are adaptable, those who are willing to embrace change, and those who are constantly learning and growing. It does not reward those who are stuck in the past, clinging to outdated strategies. Stay ahead of the curve, embrace innovation, and adapt to the changing world. The trap is the pursuit of perfection, the unrealistic expectation that everything must be flawless before action is taken. This paralyzing mindset prevents you from ever getting started, trapping you in a perpetual state of planning and preparation. You become obsessed with details, meticulously analyzing every aspect of your project, never actually launching. You fear failure, obsessing over potential mistakes, hindering your progress. You are caught in a vicious cycle of procrastination, delaying action until everything is perfect, a state that never arrives. The trap is believing that perfection is attainable or even desirable. Perfection is an illusion, a mythical ideal that can never be achieved. The pursuit of perfection is a waste of time and energy, preventing you from focusing on what truly matters: progress. It is better to launch a flawed product than to never launch at all. It is better to make mistakes and learn from them than to be paralyzed by fear of failure. The world rewards action, not perfection. It rewards those who are willing to take risks, to embrace imperfection, and to learn from their mistakes. It does not reward those who are paralyzed by the pursuit of perfection. Launch, iterate, improve. Don't wait for perfection. Create it through action. Truth's dark embrace is not a comfortable hug. It is the cold, hard slap that wakes you from the illusion society has carefully crafted. It is the understanding that the world doesn't care about your feelings, your dreams, or your potential. It only rewards results. This realization is painful but necessary. It is the foundation upon which you can build a life of genuine strength and achievement. The lies you've been told, the comforting narratives designed to keep you complacent, must be stripped away. You must confront the reality that success is not guaranteed, that effort does not always equal reward, and that the vast majority of people are living lives of quiet desperation, clinging to fantasies of what could have been. Embrace this darkness, for within it lies the power to forge your own destiny. See the world as it truly is, a brutal arena where only the strong survive, and then become one of the strong. Stop seeking validation from others. The approval of the weak is worthless. Focus on building yourself into an unstoppable force, a person of unwavering resolve, capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. This requires constant self-assessment, brutal honesty about your flaws and weaknesses, and a relentless commitment to self-improvement. It means sacrificing comfort and ease for the sake of growth and progress. It means facing your fears, pushing your boundaries, and embracing the discomfort that comes with challenging yourself. It means understanding that the path to success is paved with failure, setbacks, and disappointments. But it also means learning from those experiences, growing stronger with each challenge, and never giving up on your pursuit of excellence. The truth is a harsh mistress, but she offers a